right, good morning, everyone. How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Good morning.
Well, thank you for joining us for the Zoom training for the UltiPro timesheet. First, I want to just say that we are beginning, well, we've been testing for quite a while, but we're going to try to process parallel payrolls. So we're trying to make the UltiPro and colleague match as closely as we can. So your participation is crucial in accomplishing this. So beginning 9/6, if you all can enter your 9/6 for biweekly paid people, 9/1 for monthly paid employees. If you can begin entering your hours both as you normally would for monthly people, that's the paper timesheet. For biweekly employees, that is still electronically. If you could do it in both systems, then it is very much appreciated, and it will help us accomplish the testing so we can actually start using Ultimate software as our source of record. Hopefully you guys have been able to review the training videos and have some questions to pose to us so we can start there.
I'm having a. I didn't come in until late because I'm here till 9 tonight. So I was like,
Please make sure you mute your, I'm going to mute everyone, Lori.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so if you have questions, I think it's *6 to unmute, and feel free to ask. You can use the chat bar if you want. I now have figured out how to use that with much instruction, so thank you for the instruction. Does anyone have any questions to start? All right, so everyone is a pro, and you guys all have an hour back in your day.
Okay, you've got a question.
Okay, I've got a question from Becky Boyd, and she is asking if she usually does a monthly timesheet, will she continue to fill out the paper one? Yes, monthly paid employees, if you can continue to fill out your paper timesheet and complete your timesheet online in UltiPro, that is very much appreciated. For the biggest change, and this will affect both biweekly and monthly employees, the biggest change you will need to remember is you will not be able to enter leave hours on your timesheet, and that is for both monthly and biweekly paid employees. In order to have those hours reflected on your timesheet and therefore get paid for the leave hours, you do have to go through the online leave request process. And once those leave hours have been approved by your supervisor, then they will appear on your timesheet. But again, you have to do that early, and you have to have those hours approved by your supervisor before you will get paid for those hours. That is going to be the biggest change and the most important change that you're going to want to continue to monitor. All right, I am looking at the chat bar to see if there's anything else. Okay, so employees would like to know how long you're going to have to enter timesheets in both systems. And I am going to tell you that we will continue to send communication out to let you know when you need to change into only one system or if you need to continue to do both. Beginning 9/1 for monthly paid employees and beginning 9/6 for biweekly paid employees, we're going to go through a testing phase. And so please continue to do it in both systems until you receive communication that we need you to stop. and only do it in one system. There will be a time between testing and go live, and it should just be a very short period of time, but we will have to have everyone stay out of the Ultimate software system so they can clean out all of the payroll records that we're testing, all of the time entries that have been entered into the system. You will receive communication requesting that you please do not enter any more information in UltiPro while they clear that system out, and then you'll be notified beginning a specific day to begin entering time in Ultimate software, and that we are live in that system for payroll processing. Let's see, is UltiPro a separate login than OCCC? Once you log in through the portal, you should be able to continue to log in that way without having to enter your information again. It should just be a one-time login system like you have now into the portal. On the portal, if you'll give me just a second, let me get into the OCCC portal so I can show you where the UltiPro login is. Bear with me just a second, if you would. I've got Susie logged in, so we can show you what the timesheet looks like. And this will be for biweekly full-time employees. This is what their timesheet will look like. Monthly is going to look a little bit different, as well as student or part-time employees.
We can't
Those will
see what
also
you're
look
talking
different.
about.
Pardon me?
We can't, all I'm seeing is the UltiPro screen.
Yes, I am getting onto the portal right this second.
Oh, okay.
So I'm dragging it over so I can show you first where the login is. So you can log in, just click on the UltiPro login from the portal, and then it will take you to the screen here. And again, this is Susie's login or Susie's information. In order to find the timesheet, and as a supervisor, Chuck, I've got, I will show you how to approve leave requests and timesheets this afternoon. That training's at 2, but this is the view that employees will see.
Okay, we're not seeing what you're talking about. We're just seeing, my screen is full on UltiPro. I don't see any other screens.
Okay, can you see the drop down now?
Now I see a drop down.
Yes, okay. Yes, this is what, whenever employees log in, this is what you will see. Whenever you go into UltiPro, this is going to be the screen that you're sent to, okay? To find the timesheet for employees, then you will, she's got her information under myself, and these are her favorites. You can add that, you can set those up. You will go into the time, and it's going to make me log in again, and I'm not going to be able, give me just a second. I've got to have Susie log in again. It timed us out, so bear with us just a second. Susie, can you log in real quick?
And Lori, if you need me to share or do anything, just let me know.
Pardon me?
This is Tanya. I said, if you need me to do anything, log in or share, just let me know.
Okay, thank you. All right, bear with us again. I'm sorry, guys. We were ready, and then it timed out for us, so. Drag that over. Okay. Let's slow it up here. Go back to the home. All right, there we go. Now you can log in. Okay, so Susie will show you how to log in from the very beginning since we have to do it again. So All right, so logging in again, this is what employees will see whenever you get onto the UltiPro software homepage. If you'll click on and you'll go to time, all right, and you'll click on that, you can go to My Timesheet. And it should pop up the pay period in which we're in and that you will need to enter time for. It should automatically go to the correct pay period, but, sorry, I'm moving stuff here. But you always want to make sure your dates are correct for the timesheet that you're completing, okay? I'm trying to look at the chat bar too. Sorry, guys. If you have anything, then yell at me.
Lori.
All right. So,
Lori, this is Tanya. I'm
yes.
also looking at the chat bar for you.
Oh, perfect.
So
Can I just let you do that?
Yes.
Perfect. And just tell me what you need me to answer.
Okay.
And I'll try to address that.
Will do.
Thanks, Tanya.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now, right now we're in the testing phase, and so the leave balances have not been entered into the system. So your leave balances at the top will be incorrect. We do know that. So whenever you try to enter leave requests for testing purposes, you may encounter a few issues. If you do, please let me know and I'll try to fix those. It doesn't cause you frustration whenever we're trying to test and you're helping us with that. So in order to enter hours for full-time people, it's just like it is now. You enter the total number of hours worked per day, and then the little plus sign here, where currently there's a little box on the far right-hand side. If you need to add an hours for admin leave or whatever, you can just click the plus sign and it'll add another line for you. It will give you these options, and these are the only options you will have to enter for any kind of hours for a particular day. Employees do have the ability to add admin leave, work, holiday, jury leave, or military leave. So again, we go back to, in order to see your personal vacation or sick leave, you do have to request those hours through your online leave request system, and then they will be added to your timesheet for you. Again, enter your hours every day. This is the only way we know to pay you for time worked or for leave hours. So please remember, enter your hours every day. Once you
Lori?
finish entering out, yes.
So if I have an employee, like a student employee who may work a split shift during the day, they may be gone for a while, they'll put work hours in line one, then do another line and put work hours in for their afternoon shift.
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and as they do now, as part-time employees do now, they enter the time they come into work and the time they leave. That will still continue to be what they will do on their timesheet, okay? And I will go in just a few seconds or a few minutes, and I'll show you what those timesheets look like as well. As a supervisor, there's going to be a little different view. You will see the leave hours in the drop down here. You'll see vacation, sick, and personal leave included. So your view that I will show you for the part-time employees, that's going to look a little different than what the part-time employees will see. But for part-time employees, you just enter, they will just continue to enter the time in and the time out. Full-time employees, total hours worked per day. So nothing about that will change in the new system. All right. Part-time employees, Jenny, I think you don't work 8 hours a day, right?
No.
If I am, Okay, so you will continue to enter the time in and the time out. Your timesheet will look a little bit different than this, and I will show you those in just a second, okay? Okay, so we've got the time. If you need to create a leave request as an employee, since you're filling out your timesheet and you want to go ahead and do that at the same time, if you will click on the other modules at the top, right-hand side of the timesheet, it will take you to this slick little screen where you can request your time off. You can just click on whatever kind of leave and the date range that you need the leave for. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and do that. And then it asks you how long. You automatically pops up 8 hours, but you can also request a partial day, and this is rounded to quarter hour.
So Lori, are we also entering these requests in colleague still through the portal, or just in
Yes.
UltiPro?
Yes. Right now, Ultimate Software is not going to be the system of record yet. You will continue to get communication whenever you will completely stop entering in colleague or through the portal as far as colleague goes. Huge importance. Please, 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 I cannot stress enough, colleague is still what we will use until further notice for processing payroll. So we do want you to enter information in both systems. That being said, colleague is where we will continue to process payroll from for right now. So huge, huge, huge importance. If you hear nothing else, do not only enter time in UltiPro. Employees will not get paid if the information is only in UltiPro right now. Again, I cannot stress that enough. We are still processing payroll in colleague. We will send communication out when you can go only to one. Let's see. Okay, so let me log on and I will show you what a part-time timesheet looks like.
Lori, can I go back for a second?
You can.
So if somebody is going to have a vacation, sick hours, whatever, they have to log it over there. It then gets approved before that category shows up on their time card, right?
True statement. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Which is way different than it is now. And so that is going to be very important as well for the employee to make sure before they submit their time that all leave requests have been approved and they can see the appropriate number of hours, including their leave and work balances. They do see that on their timesheet. Supervisors are going to have to, not all supervisors approve time leave requests late, but it will have to be done very timely in order for the employees to get paid. Okay, so let me see if I can find out. Jenny, you said that, bear with me here. Let me get to a part-time timesheet so you can see that. And Jenny, I'm going to share yours if you don't mind, just because you're one of the first ones that pop up for me. Okay, so this is a part-time timesheet. Most part-time employees are only going to see a work option, okay? And they enter the time in and then the time out. If you need to make changes or notes, you can do that, clicking that little piece of paper, and a note will be added to the time for you for that day. All right, what if you're working and need to leave for an emergency without time for an approval? Your supervisor, I'm certain, will know what is going on because it would be rare that an employee would leave without notifying them. If your supervisor knows, then we can communicate and get the hours entered onto the timesheet for you. So always just communicate with your supervisor or communicate with me, supervisor first always, but then always feel free to contact the payroll department as well. And we can walk through whatever situation comes up. We can figure it out. So don't ever worry about that. Just communicate with us.
Can I add something to that, Lori? This is Tanya. The other thing I would just briefly add to that is you can access UltiPro anywhere. So if you needed to request time off in the system, you can do that whether you're at work or whether you're at home. There's a mobile app as well. So I just wanted to point that out, that this app is very flexible and you have access to it even when you're not on campus.
Tanya, I think that's where some people get confused that when you're logging in, if I'm correct, when you're logging in through the mobile app, that's where you use the other password, not your single sign-on password when you're here at OCCC, right?
That's correct. And if you didn't make them the same, then that is correct. You will use your UltiPro password to access the mobile app. That's the password that you establish when you are activating your account for the single sign-on, but also you do have to change it periodically with UltiPro, and it is on their site.
Thank you.
I have a question. If we are part-time and we only have the option of work, but we work from home, I guess, which is admin, how will we do that?
I will and again, I've got a different view than you. So I will look, because not all part-time employees do get admin leave. So right now it is an either all or none. So we can turn on the admin leave for all part-time employees, or it is off for all part-time employees. So just communicate with me, have your supervisor communicate with me, and we'll walk through that process. We can make notes on the timesheet. You know, for right now, it will tell you communication, number one. Number two, we'll probably land on choosing work and then adding notes to the timesheet for that day.
Okay.
Okay. I have a question here about comp time, overtime worked and then moving to comp time. And typically this is only going to be for full-time employees. You still have to follow the process. You have to get approval from the cabinet member for your employees to work overtime. But once you reach 40 hours entered on the timesheet as physically worked, the time automatically will convert to comp time. So there are no calculations that you have to do. It will automatically do that calculation for the employee, and they will be able to see that on their timesheet once it's submitted. So, but obviously, you know, we are testing, so we want to make sure that all of these scenarios that we work through, we want to make sure that we test all of those to know for sure that it's working as we have designed it to work. Yes, you can cancel vacation requests. I see the question if you can cancel those. Yes, you can cancel those rather than having to go through the benefits department now. You can cancel those in UltiPro. What else do I need to address that I haven't yet addressed?
So if you're entering your time and everything, you click on save at the bottom, I would take it. And then at the end of a or when you get to the end of a payroll period, you click a submit button or something?
Yes, there is in the lower right-hand corner, there is submit for approval. And I'm not going to do that. Jenny probably wants to fill out more time. And again, this is just a play period. Payroll will not be processed for this pay period. because in UltiPro, sorry, let me clarify, we will not start keeping record until 9/6. So you can submit for approval, but then you can also reject it again. If you're not satisfied with the hours entered, then you can reject it, okay? So you can make changes. In this system, employees and supervisors will be able to make changes right up until payroll is being processed. So you will have a little more time to enter. If you have access to your timesheet, you can still make changes and you can still access it. Okay, so, but please feel free, if you need to ask me questions before you do something, feel free to contact either Suzanne or myself. We're here to help you walk through whatever it is that, that we can help you with. Let's see. I'm reading the chat box, so bear with me just a second. Lance, I think we've addressed that, but I'm not certain, but you can reject it. You can reject your timesheet, so you can make adjustments to it. So if it's approved, until I start processing it, both supervisors should be able to make adjustments to your timesheet. Supervisors and the employee should be able to. That's how the system is designed. So, but again, like now, if your timesheet is no longer viewable or accessible to you, you know, you can reach out to us and we can tell you where we are. If we need to make changes, you know, then we will do that right up until, you know, we've hit the send button and get too far to do that. And then we can always make adjustments later as well. So I don't think there's anything that we cannot fix, hopefully before we finish processing payroll, but we can always make adjustments later as well. So monthly time entry, Mike, I see your question. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find a timesheet for you. But it is going to be the same thing. You will have a timesheet beginning 9/1. You'll start completing that online as well as your paper timesheet until further notice. We will continue to communicate with you all just so you know where we are and what we're doing. We don't want anyone to be in the dark at all. So give me a second. Okay, so Becky, you're my guinea pig because you're the first one that pulled up here. Okay, so this is a monthly timesheet. Again, you have all of the days in the month, and again, you can just click. And my view is a little different than you all, than the employee. The employee should be only able to see the admin work, jury, and military duty leave. Those should be the only options you have on your timesheet. Again, I have a little different view than you all, but you should just be able to see those leaves. And as the biweekly paid employees, you do have to submit your leave request before those hours will be reflected on your timesheet.
Okay.
How will FMLA be handled? If an employee does have to be on FMLA, you will still continue to communicate with the benefits department. And right now that is Jeff. He will help you with that, I believe. So you will continue to work with him, and there probably will, or there may be an option added to your timesheet, but you will still need to communicate with Jeff if anybody is in that situation.
Right, this is Tanya.
Again,
I think
there
that's going
are
under
notes that you
admin
can
leave.
enter per day. You can enter notes if you need to make notes that it is FMLA leave. You can make notes on the timesheet as well. So, Tanya, were you going to say something about FMLA as well?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was going to say that I believe it was decided to be handled under admin, and I don't know if that's the question or not. What do they choose to report FMLA? But you're absolutely correct. It still is managed with Jeff, and that whole process will be the same as it's been. How we handle it on the timesheet, I believe it falls under admin leave, but I can certainly verify that.
No, I believe that is correct. And then we'll just make notes. But again, Jeff will be the person that, you know, has the official answer for that. So. All right, is there something that I haven't addressed that there are questions about? And please know that this is not the only conversation we will ever have about that or the only training we will have. Certainly, if anyone has questions that we don't address, then feel free to contact Suzanne or myself. We are here to help you guys through this transition. And training, we can do one-on-one, we can do departments, whatever it takes to help you all be comfortable with this new system. Please feel free to reach out, let us know what it is you need, and we're happy to work through whatever it is.
Lori, this training is just for timesheet entry, right? I mean, we're not getting into how you set up beneficiaries and contacts and all that other kind of stuff.
You are correct. Right now, this is just time entry, leave requests, and anything else you all want to ask. I may not be able to help you, but I can tell you who will be able to help you. Beneficiaries, that is still going to be Jeff. He can help with that. This system is designed to let the employee take control of a lot of information themselves. You can change your address in this situation, in this system. You can change beneficiaries probably. And
Yes.
I honestly have not looked at that piece. Jeff can help you with that, but I believe you can control all of that yourself in the system. It gives a lot more control to the employee. So, which is definitely a bonus for the system.
And if this is Tanya again, if you will go out to the HR webpage, there is a training available out there as well for contacts. I'm not sure if you all saw that when you were looking at the time entry video, but there's one as well that walks you through how to update your contacts. And as Lori has said, you know, anything that you need assistance with, please just reach out and let us know, and we're happy to walk you through it, to do a one-on-one, to provide whatever support is necessary for this transition.
Question about direct deposit information. Thank you very much for sending a direct deposit question. No, direct deposit information for now will not be housed in UltiPro. We will still continue to go through the paper process for that because that information is entered into a state website that is not done through the system, colleague or UltiPro. That information is not housed here. So please continue to follow the process that we do now, whether it be contact us, email us. We will never change your direct deposit information by email without speaking with you. We won't do it through the mail without speaking with you. But right now we will continue to follow the same process that we have. That being said, for W-4 changes, for withholdings, you can do that now through UltiPro. So again, the system gives a lot of the control back to the employee, and you don't have to wait for somebody in payroll or human resources to make a change for you, whether it be the W-4 or your address changes. You can do those all yourself.
If we, during this period, if we make those changes though, we need to let you guys know so that the colleague can be updated?
Yes, right now we are still following the current processes. If you do need to change a W-4, please continue to contact Human Resources so they can make those changes for you. Right now we are doing dual maintenance, so any changes that we do in colleague, we will also do in UltiPro. But if you make your change now for W-4 withholding only in UltiPro, our testing will not be accurate because colleague is still the system of record for now. So we want to make sure that we have the changes in both systems.
Can you hear me? Hi, I had a question. In UltiPro, I was looking at my contacts, and some of the information from my contacts have been moved over like incorrectly. And one of those contacts is also a beneficiary. Do I need to update my beneficiaries in UltiPro as well, or will that be done automatically?
I would say go ahead and do that. That is a great Jeff Suguru question, but I believe go ahead and do that in UltiPro, and that should take care of it.
Right, they will not be updated automatically. We do ask that you go in and check that information, your personal information, your address, your phone number, your beneficiaries, your contacts, your emergency contacts, and update that information.
Tanya, all the other stuff that's in there, like review dates, status key dates and things, those still need to be updated, correctly?
Updated.
Like if I look at my status key dates,
Mm-hmm.
it's basically everything back from 2014. But again, it's probably not part of this meeting. This meeting is time cards only.
Right. Well, that's okay. And we can talk about the key status dates, but unless there's been a change that you don't see, if that's what you mean. But we can talk about that offline if you'd like.
Yeah, because I needed to call you anyways about my password problem.
Okay. There's a question about PTO or vacation balance. Those totals have not been transferred over to UltiPro. They will not reflect accurately. You will not see that until right before we are ready to implement the system.
If you sent a chat question and I haven't addressed it yet, or Tanya hasn't addressed it, if you will send that again, I'm scrolling back through just to see if I can catch something I haven't mentioned, but if you don't mind sending that again, I would appreciate it very much. Let's see. Just reiterating, best practice is to enter time every day. That way you don't forget. And this is, timesheets are the only way we know how to pay you. Let's see, Shaki. Yes, please go through and check your configuration group. We do need to address those. So if you will, and we'll ask this of the supervisors as well, to please make sure employees are in the correct groupings, because now it is not just a timesheet. Employees are in groups, whether it be monthly paid employees, monthly paid hourly employees, part-time employees, federal work study employees. Everyone is in a specific group. So we need to make sure that those groupings are correct. Keeping that in mind, we have just had, employees change over from STEP funding to federal work study funding. That has not been completed yet because we are in the testing phase. We can only go up through a certain date to get all of the accurate information into the system. So we have to stop at a particular day to get payroll processed through that point before Human Resources can enter more changes, whether it be funding or position changes. So please, though, whenever we start on 9/6 for biweekly paid employees, 9/1 for monthly paid employees, please continue to make sure that your grouping is correct, because it should be accurate at that time. So whenever we go live, or whenever we have you start doing the parallel time entry, if you would just please make sure that that is correct. Make sure your position is correct, and then your grouping, whether it be federal work study, monthly, biweekly, whatever, please just double check those. All of your help is very much appreciated, as we cannot make sure everything is accurate without your involvement in this. So please know that we appreciate your participation very much, as you will help us ensure that we did do everything correctly for setting up and getting employees paid and paid accurately. Is there anything else that I can address for you all that we haven't yet? Again, please feel free to reach out to Suzanne or myself. The Human Resource team is there for your help as well if you have questions for them. You can email us, call us, whatever is most convenient for you all. If you need questions answered that you think of later, please don't hesitate to contact us, email or calling us. You can drop by and see us. We can walk you through it. Whatever is easy for you, we will try to accommodate.
Okay.
If you are having trouble signing in, I see a couple of messages for that. I will send your information to Tanya so she can look into it for you. And I will do that right this second. So. Well, guys, if there's nothing else, then I'll stay on for a little bit longer if you need me to. Again, if there's something I didn't address, then feel free to reach out to us.
Thanks, everybody, for attending the training. We really do need your help in giving this information to everyone, because it will be critical. And when we do eventually go live on UltiPro, it'll be critical that everybody is well trained and aware. I'll really explain this more to the supervisors, because it will be harder for us to tell who's not being paid, and it may not be as easy for Lori. We haven't determined that, to do just off-cycle checks, and we don't want anybody to go without getting paid. I mean, that's absolutely what we don't want, but we have to have everybody's help to ensure that that doesn't happen. So we really appreciate you all tuning into this training.
Thanks for putting this all together.
Well, it's mainly Lori and Tanya. We've worked, and you guys are like, when are you guys going to do this? We're not sure. I mean, this has been a very difficult task, and we appreciate your patience. We're so happy you tuned in, and you will help us to fine tune the system. So we're happy to help in any way that we can.
Chuck, 2 o'clock is the supervisor training, so
yeah,
if you can't make that and need something else, just yell at me
I've
And,
got it on my schedule. Thanks.
okay, perfect. All right, guys. Well, again, thank you very much. If there's anything you need, reach out to us. We're happy to help, whether it be Zoom, phone call, email, coming over to help your department, whatever it is. Again, just let us know so we can be there to help you.
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone.